introduce.
Welcome to 94.1 FM, 3WBC. This is the Egyptian Australian radio show, and the affectionately known as EARS, Egypt Australia Radio Show. And tonight with us, we've got Margaret Eshak, sports reporter and presenter, have been reporting for the last 12, 13 years with other radio stations. And tonight we join Margaret once again for the latest updates. Margaret, what have we got? What would you like to cover tonight?
I'm going to cover a bit of tennis and a bit of AFL.
Right, okay, let's go. AFL is close to our heart, so what would you like?
Start with that?
Yeah.
You want to start with AFL? Okay, so the grand final is set for the 25th of September at 5:15 p.m. It's going to be played in Perth Optus Stadium. Unfortunately, this is the second year in a row we don't have it in Melbourne at the MCG, thanks COVID. Anyway, so Melbourne and Western Bulldog will be playing in the final. And I think that's quite fitting because they were probably the most consistent teams in 2021. So who wins? I think Melbourne, but it's going to be very close.
Oh, that's if I can just add on to that as well, Margaret. I think everyone is saying they're not going to wear the Melbourne Guernsey because it's superstitious to wear, the supporters anyway. They don't want to wear the Melbourne Guernsey only because they're saying this. It's like they know they're going to win, but they don't want
to jinx it.
They don't want to jinx it. So it's well,
that's funny because there's talks that they might not have fans out there.
Yes.
So we don't know. But then we'll see.
We'll see. But they've, like you said, they've been consistently strong
all year.
All
the
year.
Two teams they have. Yeah. They've had one or two slip-ups, but really they've been the best two teams. So I think it's quite fitting that they are in the final.
Well done. Okay.
There's also the Brownlow.
Oh, yes.
The Brownlow is going to be next Sunday.
Yes.
Well, this Sunday, the 19th of September at 7:30 on Channel 7. And according to the punters, the leading players are Ollie Wines, Marcus Bontempelli, Clayton Oliver, Jack Steele, and Christian Petrarca.
Right.
I have no idea who's going to win, but I can tell you which of those players I'd like to win. Any guesses?
Winnie.
Nah.
Nah.
My captain, my beloved Saints captain, Jack Steele.
I knew there was
He was so close last year, so he must get it this year.
Okay.
Come on, Steele, yes.
Okay, when they go marching in, he'll be marching in and out. All right.
He was called, well, during the season, he was referenced as one of the best captains in the league, and this is his first time as captain, so it's pretty good. Anyway.
Yes, I know. That's it. Okay, Margaret, let's go with the tennis. What's happening with the tennis?
Tennis, okay. So we had the US Open just finish this last Monday.
Right. Surprises.
There's a lot of firsts in this particular US Open.
Right.
So this is the first time that we've had Federer and Nadal and the Williams sisters not competing in the same tournament.
Right.
For maybe about 15 years.
That's a point, yes.
That's huge.
That's huge, isn't
There's
it?
also the first time that a former champion, the current champion could not play and retain his title, and that's Dominic Thiem because he was injured, so he couldn't play. Also, there was past champions, Stan Wawrinka couldn't play. So there's quite a few big names that we're missing,
right,
which is quite unusual for this big tournament. But anyway, they were missing. A lot of them were injured, so it's a bit of a shame. Another first is the women champion, Emma Raducanu of Great Britain. She's the first qualifier to ever reach a Grand Slam final.
Yes.
And she also did it in her second appearance in any slam. So she was in Wimbledon, if you recall. She was due to play our Ash Barty and couldn't play because she was too nervous. She couldn't get to court.
Yes.
So she didn't play. She could have probably won Wimbledon, but she was too nervous. It was too much for her. She's only 18 years old. So she didn't play that. But she continued with this one, the US Open, and she defeated 19-year-old Leila Fernandez from Canada in straight sets. And she didn't do it easy. She actually beat number 12 seed Belinda Bencic and 17 seed Maria Sakkari on her way to the final.
Yeah.
They were big names. They're tough opponents.
Yes.
Fernandez also had a great run. She beat number 2 seed Aryna Sabalenka and number 3 seed Naomi Osaka, and the 5th seed Elena Svitolina. So they both did really well.
Yeah,
18 and 19-year-olds, teenagers,
yes,
playing in the final, which is really amazing.
It was remarkable, like you said, in that the American player, Canadian, mentioned how she got there quickly, and it's amazing what they talk about their origins, where they were born, how they were raised, and where their parents were born, and it's just global.
It's quite remarkable. It's an amazing story for both those girls. It's quite amazing that they made it that far.
And they played and they competed against one another for quite some time.
Yeah, well, the score doesn't say that, but they did.
Yeah.
They did. And it was quite a remarkable thing for, especially a qualifier. A qualifier means that they're not in the top 100 for a start.
Yes.
And they have to play a qualifying tournament before they get into the main draw. So they have to play 3 or 4 matches before they can qualify to play in the main draw.
Right, yes.
So that's a long process. So she's played 3 matches and then she played another 7 in the main draw to win. That's 10 matches in a row practically. Unbelievable.
That's a point, isn't it? She didn't drop a set in 9 of them. She won 9 sets straight.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was 9 or 8 or something like that.
I think Belinda Bencic would have been a really, really tough player to play because she was playing really well. And I think that's the one that went to 3 sets. But it was quite remarkable anyway. So, new champion for the women. And then we also get a new champion for the men.
Yes.
Now, this is the second year in a row that the US Open has had a new champion. Not one of the big 3. Second year in a row.
Right.
Yeah. So last year it was Dominic Thiem.
Yes.
And this year it was Daniil Medvedev. But not only did he win it, but he won it in straight sets.
Yes.
6-4, 6-4.
I know.
Against Novak Djokovic, number 1.
I know.
If you remember earlier this year,
yes,
Djokovic and Medvedev actually played each other at the Australian Open final, and Djokovic won in straight sets.
Right. Yeah.
So this is the opposite.
It's quite a.
It's quite remarkable.
Turn, yes.
Yeah, it's quite remarkable. Also, for the first time in a long time,
yes,
we've got 2 people winning the Golden Slam. Do you know what that is, Jerry?
No, I've forgotten.
Okay. The Golden Slam is when you win all 4 Grand Slams.
Yes.
And the Olympic gold medal in the same calendar year.
Oh, right. Yes, that's right.
Okay. So we've got 24-year-old Didier de Groot of Netherlands and our own Dylan Olcott, who won the Golden Slam this year. They're 2 wheelchair champions.
Yes.
And just think about it this way. Rod Laver in 1969 and Steffi Graf in 1989 both won the calendar Grand Slam, which means they won the Australian, the French, Wimbledon, and the US.
Right. Okay.
But
Yes.
only Steffi Graf has actually won the Olympic gold medal as well in
Oh, okay.
1988. So
Right.
she's the only player
Yes.
that has won the Golden Slam since 1988.
Ah, okay. And you're saying there's two now.
Two won it, a female and a male in the wheelchair championship.
That is remarkable. That's
Isn't
amazing.
it? It's
That is
just a
fantastic.
record that stood the test of time. Even Rod Laver didn't do it.
Yes. Yes.
Only Steffi Graf that has done it. Before
Well,
these
that's fantastic efforts. And like you
Amazing.
said, it is in that the thing that's changed in all of this is the COVID component. You've seen so many changes, and like you said, Margaret, there's so many newcomers on the board, 19-year-olds, you know.
Yeah,
It's amazing. It's refreshing.
yeah. And the other thing I want to say is about Djokovic. Okay, so
Yes,
Djokovic
please.
is actually going for the Golden Slam this year,
Correct. Yes.
just like Steffi Graf.
Yes.
He started the year well. He won the Aussie, the French, and Wimbledon.
Right.
Then he got to the Olympics and he lost in the semifinals to Alexander Zverev. So he got the bronze. He didn't get the gold.
Yes.
Zverev got the gold. And then he lost the US Open to Medvedev.
Yeah.
So he didn't even get the Grand Slam and he didn't get the Golden Slam, which he was going for.
How do you feel about that? And how do you feel about him as a professional tennis player? I think that's of importance to me.
Is it?
Yeah.
Not one of my favorite players, I have to admit.
Why is that? What
I
is it?
think he's an amazing player. Absolutely amazing. When you watch him play, fantastic. But he uses tactics that I don't really approve of.
Right.
And that's just my personal opinion.
Yes, yes.
I think he's the type of player that when he gets in trouble, he starts acting up.
Right.
Saying,
Yes.
you know, oh, my back hurts, or my leg hurts, or whatever. So just to put off the player.
Yes.
And he's done that to Team in the Australian Open a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Team was about to win and he started acting up and, oh, my back and all this. And
Yes.
it, you know, people's concentration breaks.
Yes, yes.
And he ends up winning. I don't like that. I don't think it's fair on other players. That's
Good
just
point.
my opinion.
Good point.
And
Yeah.
I don't think Federer does it. I don't think Nadal does it, but Djokovic does it.
And when we talk about the
That's what
gentleman,
I don't like.
when we talk about the gentleman of the game, Federer is always up there. People just look at him and say
Exactly,
he is the most
exactly.
gentleman of the gentlemen.
Yeah. And I mean, even if, you know, he's going for records, which is great for him. But I don't, at the end of the day, I think history will keep saying, you know, he might have won a lot of Grand Slams or whatever, but, you know, the means that he used are just not sportsmanlike to me anyway. Anyway, that's just my opinion.
That's a wrap.
But anyway, sorry, one more thing.
Yes, yes.
So I'm smelling a definite changing of the guards in both the men and the women's competitions.
Right.
So the Williams sisters
Yes.
are not a force to be reckoned with anymore.
Oh,
They're, well, Venus is 42 and I think Serena's 40 this year.
right.
Serena's dream of beating Margaret Court's record of 24 Grand Slams may not be achievable for her. She's won 23.
Yes.
So she's trying to win another one.
Yes.
But she's been plagued with a lot of injuries. And I think as you get older, you're bound to get those. And
it's hard
definitely,
to recover.
if she stays healthy, she can do it.
Yes.
But she's had a lot of injuries.
Mm.
On the men's side, Djokovic, again, was trying to pass Federer and Nadal, record-winning 20 Grand Slams. He has now achieved 20 Grand Slams with them.
Yes.
So he's equal to them. But the new generation is coming up now. And you've got both Medvedev and Team winning the US. You've got Alexander Zverev beating him on a number of occasions. So these next generation that's coming up, they're quite capable of doing this.
Right.
So he's going to have a lot of tough competitors to deal with. And if Federer and Nadal come back, who knows? you're bound to have like 3 or 4 players that you have to beat to get to the final,
Yes.
which he never had previously. He probably just had in his mind Federer and Nadal, but now you've got this Medvedev team,
Yes.
Zverev. You know, that's going to be pretty tough for him to winning any more Grand Slams. But then again, who knows? He's a tough cookie, that one. There was also a big controversy.
Yes, I know. I like them. Yes, we
Have you heard about it?
Aspire to them.
Okay, so Stefanos Tsitsipas is a Greek player. He's now the number 3 player in the world in the absence of Federer, Nadal and team. He's like Djokovic. He uses tactics to win matches. And he was playing Zverev in the Cincinnati Masters. Zverev was winning by a set and a bit. And he decided to have a toilet break, which he's entitled to do. But Zverev suddenly went crazy, telling the umpire, he's cheating. And I was like, what's going on? He said, he's done this in Paris. He's done this with the French. He's doing it again. He's cheating. And I was wondering what the hell was going on. But then I realized Zverev was saying he took his bag with him.
Oh.
Now, what that means is he might have taken his mobile phone as well.
Yes.
He might be getting some information from his coach, his dad.
Oh, okay.
Right? Which is not allowed. It's against the rules.
Yes.
And then the camera pans out to his dad. He's sitting there going on his mobile. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? So anyway, in the US Open, Tsitsipas was playing Andy Murray. And as you know, Andy Murray's had some injury problems. He's been off the tour for a while.
Yep.
So he's just coming back. And he did it again. He was 2 sets down.
Yes.
Went on a toilet break, took his bag. Murray flipped it. He couldn't believe this was happening again. And Tsitsipas says, I was just changing because I get sweaty all the time. So why do you need the whole bag? Why aren't they checking the bag?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
And it took 8 minutes for a toilet break.
And a toilet break is what? Legal 8 minutes legally.
They don't have a timing.
Oh.
But normally 5 minutes tops. So it took 8 minutes each time. And that's it's a tactic, you know. The player he's playing is hot.
Yes.
Calm him down, so when he comes back, he can play again.
Yes.
You know, lose the concentration.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And again, potentially getting advice from his dad, his coach, which is completely wrong.
Oh yes, I know. What should they do about it? I mean, should they take the bag or just?
I think they shouldn't be allowed to take a bag.
Or
if
just
change
check
clothes,
the bag contents.
They get sponsorship from all these Adidas and all these things. So they have these things in packets. Take the packet.
Yeah.
Why are you taking the whole damn bag?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me. You know, and if he decides to take a bag, check it.
Check the bag. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And then put a limit. 5 minutes is more than enough to have a toilet break.
Just a quick thing. Tell me, are we likely to miss out our Australian Open, or what's happening with our Australian Open at this stage? You're too early.
No,
it ain't going to happen.
We're not going to miss it. From what I understand, we're going to have a Australian Open.
Yep.
By the time it comes around, we should be at 70-80% vaccinated.
Yes.
So it should be okay.
Right. Yeah. Even if it's we hope that it's all okay, because they're all talking about having restrictions lifted, but whether we will be allowed to go and watch it, that's something else. Maybe they'll.
If you're vaccinated, you're allowed to go.
Yeah.
If you're fully vaccinated, you're allowed to go. That's what I've heard so far.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're going to have restrictions on a number of fans in the stands.
Yes.
People attending. I don't know how much they haven't said anything about that. But the talk is that, you know, if you're vaccinated, you can go.
Go in, yeah.
Yeah.
Mask on, yeah. Do you have an? I don't have
Well, when we went last year, the masks were put on when you went inside the venue
Yes,
to buy food and whatever, because there's a lot of people everywhere.
yes.
But in the stands, it's outdoor,
Right, okay.
you know, so what do you need a mask for?
Oh, okay. Well,
No.
they might impose that, but they might say mask
They
and
might,
vaccinated. Yeah.
but again, you know, we're supposed to reach, what was it, 70%
By this Friday.
now
Yes.
and 80% by mid-October.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
So the Australian Open doesn't start until the middle of January.
Yes, yes.
We've got 3
Yes.
months after that.
And we're going into the warmer weather of the
Exactly,
year. We're going
exactly.
into summer. All right, that's a wrap.
That's what they've had it in the US. So
Yes.
they didn't have any masks. They were out there, outdoors. So it shouldn't be an issue.
And it's JG and ME, and thank you so much, Margaret Eshak, for reporting once again. We look forward to your next report on whether it's the footy outcome or any other sporting events you'd like to share with us. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.